So often, business leaders, entrepreneurs, even sales and marketing folks go out there and they attempt to compete with a product that hasn't been well thought out in terms of how they can be as competitive as possible. People are out there selling something that is pretty much similar to what everybody else is selling, and then they wonder why their sales aren't where they need to be. When was the last time that you really took the time to dive deep and figure out, what can I do? What can I deliver to the market that's improved, that's different, that's innovative? And that's it really. Innovation is the secret. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Leena Patel Live. My name is Leena Patel, founder of Global Impact Systems, helping bring the sandbox into the boardroom. Thank you so much for joining me today. In this episode, I'm going to share a system with you for tracking your performance and igniting innovation. Just to give you a little background, after I retired from the performance world and started consulting, first athletes, then business leaders, I wanted to be the best in the world at delivering innovation to my clients. I knew that I needed a system to be able to track my clients' progress so that we knew that we were on course. It made perfect sense to me to apply the method of training utilized in the world of sports, which is the world that I came from, into the corporate world, which is the world I'm in now, to ensure that I had built in rigor into my measuring mechanism. The Russians have a system which enables them to track progress across many different skills. The goal is to achieve progress in everything that gets worked on, no matter how small or incremental. The theory is that if you're getting approximately 10 different small distinctions and improvements every day, even though it seems minor, it adds up very quickly and you start producing incredible results. So what I've done is apply this system of measurement to business so that you can measure and track your innovation progress and boost your end results. To teach you this system, I'm going to give you a training metaphor. Imagine you're a young athlete and I am your trainer. In order to build up your strength, I might coach you to incorporate 20 push-ups into your daily workout routine. The obvious measuring mechanism of getting stronger every day is completion of this new skill. So success is measured by simply doing 20 push-ups a day. And over time, you see these improvements in strength simply by doing those 20 push-ups. If we translate this into the business world, this means that when you've completed a new activity, the activity gets a check mark. So, activity example, make 20 sales calls a day. When you've made your 20 calls, you might call that completion a win. Let's call that completion instead the start. Will 20 additional sales calls a day boost your revenue? It might. But there are 4 strategic ways we can improve on this ROI. So in this episode, we're going to cover all 4. Going back to the sports analogy, let's imagine it takes you 1 minute to complete those 20 push-ups. Now, how do you measure an improvement in your performance, your fitness level? So as we go through each of these 4, I'm going to share with you the performance hack in the sports world, and then the innovation hack as it applies in the business world. So let's go. The first performance hack, or the innovation hack, is speed. You can still use this 1 minute benchmark, but increase the number of push-ups you do in that 1 minute. So improving your speed is one measure of improving your physical fitness, your physical performance level. An example of how speed has been used in business to generate more revenue is getting your product to your customer for the same cost, but in less time. The famous Domino's campaign, in which they declared you get hot, fresh pizza to your door in 30 minutes or less, or it's free, is an interesting case study. Here's the deal. Revenue grew because Domino's focused on this one thing that customers valued: speed of delivery. And this small distinction in their marketing message enabled them to win in the marketplace. Now, clearly, speed alone won't cut it in the long run. If speed causes traffic accidents, for example, in an effort to get the pizza to your customer, and by the way, this is exactly what happened to Domino's, context is critical. Otherwise, you could end up misfiring and getting burdened with some pretty hefty lawsuits. So speed is one strategy that helped Domino's, but ended up being a huge roadblock for them as well. Let's look at another company. Amazon. They've used this innovation hack, speed, to successfully grow their revenue. Amazon Prime members now make up more than half the online retailer's customer base. So according to Consumer Intelligence Research Partners, they recently estimated that Amazon counts 63 million Prime members among their shoppers, which is an increase of 19 million from the previous year. And many Amazon customers will happily pay for the privilege of getting orders to their doors in 2 days or even on the same day. I'm one of them. So that's speed. Innovation hack or performance hack number 2 is addition. So addition is simply adding on a skill to make the exercise more challenging. For instance, using the athletic training analogy, if you were to do a one-handed push-up, one of those fancy one-handed push-ups where you've got one hand behind your back, well, that would be an example of adding on this layer of difficulty, an addition. An example of how addition is used in business to add more revenue to your bottom line is Apple giving away 5 gig of free iCloud storage for photos, videos, files, and so on. However, if you need more iCloud storage, Apple gives you the option to add to your storage. You get more storage, Apple makes more money. So the question to ask yourself is, what addition can you make or offer to improve your performance, to improve your bottom line? This addition metric can lead to a significantly improved result. Performance hack or innovation hack number 3, quality. In the sports analogy term, you can do the same number of press-ups or push-ups, but increase the quality with which you do them. So, for example, maybe you're doing push-ups with your legs straight instead of the half push-ups with your knees touching the floor. Or if you can do them with your legs straight, maybe your quality is improved by taking your chest all the way down to touch the floor every single time instead of maybe halfway down or 3/4 of the way. What about a business example of this performance metric? Well, in 1995, Papa John hired a consulting firm, and this firm, they coined the slogan that has become synonymous with this now multi-billion-dollar company. Better ingredients, better pizza. So that's the Papa John's slogan that you've probably heard at some point before. So at the time, Papa John had about 1/4 of the stores that Pizza Hut had. Pizza Hut was their competitor. So the focus was not on accessibility, but quality. Better ingredients, better pizza was a winner. You've probably seen commercials when a company claims to have the best, Did you know that you can use the word best in advertising without having to back up your statement? But when you use the word better, you better have proof to substantiate your claim. Use of the word better led to a heated legal battle between Pizza Hut and Papa John's. Papa John actually claimed in an advertising campaign that their sauce and their dough was better than Pizza Hut's because they were made with fresh tomatoes and filtered water and so on. And they didn't include ingredients like xanthan gum and hydropolarized soya protein, whatever that is. You know what I'm talking about, those words that you can't pronounce in the ingredients. So there you go. This performance hack, this innovation hack, is about focusing on quality. But be warned. Watch out that you don't use words that raise false advertising alarm bells to your customers or your competitors, or you could get into trouble. Innovation hack number 4 is quantity. In this metric, you keep the speed the same, but increase the number of push-ups by adding on more time. So using the example I shared, instead of going for 1 minute and completing 20 push-ups, you would extend the time to, say, 2 minutes. And now you're able to complete perhaps 30 or 35 or even 40 press-ups or push-ups. If efficiency is the target, you would keep doing 20, but the goal would be to complete in less time than the full 60 seconds. So those are the 2 ways. How does the quantity performance metric translate into business? In business, this translates as offering more for less or more for the same price. So keeping with the pizza theme here, big fan of pizza, some of you may know from watching the TEDx talk. So some of you may remember the Pizza Hut commercial. $5, $5, $5. The idea here is, of course, value for money. You can get a pizza for $5. You can get more for less. Another variation of this is 2 for the price of 1, or product bundling. That's another way to increase performance or sales or revenue. The bottom line is customers feel they're getting a great deal, and so they spend. Now, apply the quantity metric into your business. How can you bundle more value, more bonuses, more perks more volume at the same price, or better than your competitors. Just don't do what the giants in the PC industry did. Don't slash your margins to the point that you can't afford to grow. Hewlett-Packard and Dell, well, they made the mistake of competing on price alone. They charged the same as everyone else, but added more features. For example, they added more storage capacity to their computers. Well, eventually it hurt them because though the revenue stayed the same, it ate into their profits. And now they're struggling. They've been struggling for years. So you've got to be strategic about it. So these are the 4: speed, addition, quality, and quantity. Now, apply this 4-pronged approach to your business. Share this episode with your team and take some time to brainstorm with them in each of these areas. I encourage you to play and experiment with these strategies and see which is optimal for you in terms of revenue and in terms of profit. It's so important to get clear before you execute. You want to take the path that gives you a competitive advantage that you can bring to the marketplace that will set you apart and set you up for growth. So I hope you'll take this and I hope you'll apply it. And if I can serve you, then I invite you to reach out and apply for a complimentary consultation at LenaPatelLive.com to determine if I can take you on as a client and help you innovate faster and better. Just mention you heard this offer on episode 6 of this podcast, Lena Patel Live, and myself or team member will set you up. So that's my free gift to you for tuning in today. I hope this episode has given you great value. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and download and subscribe today on iTunes or Stitcher so you don't miss future episodes. And share your thoughts and any ideas you have for future episodes by leaving a review on iTunes. See you in the sandbox.